latino en semifinal y nos vamos con el siguiente hit, que tenemos a un australiano y un peruano, otro de los latinos sobrevivientes en este evento, así que vamos a apoyarlo y comenzamos.
Well, there goes the countdown. And we're into heat number 4, the quarterfinals. Out in the water in red, watching Miguel Tadela from Peru, and in white from Australia, Leigh Sedley. So we got another really good heat out in the water, and with the conditions, the wind, offshore wind sitting down a little bit, maybe these waves will be just a little bit more makeable. And we saw some great surfing in the last heat, though. So things are heating up as we go towards the semifinal. This is the last heat of our quarterfinals, and we go right into the semifinal. And man, we're into the big money right now. Surfers from losing out in this quarterfinal is going to take home $2,500. If you lose in the semi, you're going to take home $5,000. And if you win that big prize, $20,000 first place prize.
Not bad at all, huh? Not bad at all.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'd like to do that. I'd take that $20,000 and go hang out with you all year in Puerto.
For sure. Puerto, I was watching some photos last night of Puerto, and the swell's really good over there. I saw as the swell is starting to fade, the waves are getting a little bit more perfect, and I saw some amazing photos of some really good barrels, and can't wait to be back there. Even though I'm really comfortable here with all the activities and everything, those waves just make my heart race.
Yeah, you live for the barrel. I live for surf too. So even with all the activities, still top priority surfing. Out there with you in the water. Got a couple of great surfers. Neither one has quite caught a wave, so the heat hasn't really officially. It's begun on the clock, but hasn't begun on the action. But look for some exciting surfing in this heat.
Yeah, and we're having an expression session, right, Gary, after the final, or?
I think surfers can sign up for expression session right now. Some great prizes put on by Skull Candy. It's a little bit late in informing everybody. I don't know who we're going to get down here, but I'm sure some guys are going to go out there and try and bust some aerial maneuvers, and I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, Skull Candy is really putting the show. The expression session is a really good way to make the surfers, do all those crazy maneuvers, the new surf, and they don't have no pressure, so it's just like enjoying the surf, having fun with your friends, and going big.
See who can go get the highest, fly the highest, and big shout out to Skull Candy. They're really sporting surfing all over the planet, and I was able to talk to the president of Skull Candy Mexico and told him about our project for Big Wave World Tour in Ensenada, Mexico at Todos Santos. They're pretty interested, so hopefully we can bring some big wave surfing via Skull Candy and later on.
Yeah, definitely. And tell us about that big wave event that you...
Well, Todos Santos, the island off Ensenada, Mexico, has some of the best big waves in the world, and January, February is the time when the ocean cooperates. It brings those big swells our way. And here goes in white,
the Australian surfer,
Leigh Sedley, surfing to the criteria, just hitting the lip every opportunity that was provided for him. I think we're gonna risk it again and try and be judges. What do you think? 6.5?
I think 6. I like it for a 6. He really put that deep bottom turn straight up, nice hit, and then he backed it up with another re-entry. So Leigh Sedley from Australia, really smart surfer. He really knows how to get those points. He's a really smart surfer, and here we go, Miguel Tuleda doesn't quite make it. So I really like how he surfs. Full on as the judges' criteria. So.
Well, Miguel Tadela, too, is an explosive surfer, part of the new school. He's only 17 years old, just full of energy. He's going to have a great career in front of him. He tried to go for the barrel section. Really wasn't much else that he could do on that wave. But Leigh Sedley tall, powerful Australian surfer using all that leverage, throwing his board straight up through the lip, connecting, doing it 2 times. Scores a 5.50. So we were pretty close. I guess we're tuning our scores a little bit as the day goes through. And tough job up there being a judge. And down on the beach, we've got Carlos Munoz.
Micro. En el micrófono. Ya.
Pero sin embargo, pues está difícil las olas. Logré avanzarme, ponerme en una gran posición ahí en el mar. Me salieron 3 olas seguidas. Traté de hacer lo que pude. Luego usé una táctica de marcaje personal, digamos, me puse abajo el surfeador para dejarlo agarrar las olas más malas y pues si salía alguna buena mandarme yo. Gracias a Dios me funcionó y no, estar en la siguiente ronda ahora.
Bien, muchas felicidades y ahí bien surfeado.
Muchísimas gracias y no, pura vida, en realidad espero hacerlo mejor en la próxima ronda. Ya, va.
Well, thank you, Jody. Thank you, Carlos. Carlos, when he's showing why he's just such a favorite, just full of big smiles, positive energy, and he is going to go on to the semifinals, so don't go away. That'll be immediately following this heat. But in the meantime, Leigh Sedley picked off another nice wave, a one maneuver wave, but he scores a 3.30. So really, Miguel Tudela got to play catch-up, and we've seen all the way through the contest this morning that playing catch-up is not the place you want to be in these conditions. You want to just keep moving around, catching a lot of waves. You don't want to sit out there. You know, you never know when these waves are going to open up. I say it's better to gamble and go for whatever you can get, catch as many waves as possible, and hopefully one of them will open up.
I think so, yeah, you're truly right. Leigh Sedley has 2 pretty decent waves, a 5.50 and a 3.30, and Miguel Tudela needs 8.13, so he really needs to step up. I mean, these conditions are really hard. You just gotta catch some waves and start building the heat. There's plenty of time, so he'll definitely have time to get more waves, but yeah, the waves, you know, look at that wave. Pretty good wave, pretty good left, open face.
It's just a matter of being at the right place at the right time. I mean, there's some corners out there. Problem is, we can see them from here, but when you're sitting out there, it's hard to put yourself in the right place. I mean, there's not a real consistent bank out there, and it's hard to line up. There's a lot of current. That's just basically, you know, I just keep moving around. I wouldn't sit. And there goes Miguel Tudela. He's got an open face there, some corner there. A little flat on those turns. He's going to need a little bit more, but he's going to set something up for, see if he can go for an aerial here. Goes for a cutback, playing it safe, going to work it all the way to the inside. He's going to need a little bit more than that, but at least he's got his footing now, and he's warming up a little bit, and feeling his board out.
Yeah, those turns were kind of weak, but it will definitely help his score. He has a 0.67, so
he needs a 8.13. He needs a combination of 2 waves, so that's a score he can build on. It's probably going to be around a 3 range, and he can come back then with a 6 and be right where he wants to be.
And as you were saying, you know, Carlitos Munoz, a really happy surfer, you know, he's always with a big smile. All of the Costa Rican surfers, you know, all of the Costa Rican people are really friendly, really happy persons. They're always smiling.
Pura vida.
So, yeah, Carlitos Munoz, I'm happy he made it to the semifinals, and hopefully he can do good on this event and put a Latin surfer on the final.
Yeah, somebody with a smile is hard to not be your favorite, you know. I'm just saying. I want to be around the happy people, and he's one of the happiest people I've ever had the pleasure of meeting, and just makes you feel comfortable wherever you're in his presence. Last wave of red, a 4.07.
15
That was Miguel Tudela. So Miguel Tudela is still in second place, but he now only needs a 4.74. So that score coming in a little higher than we thought. Good for Miguel. Miguel's another one of those young Latin surfers really making a charge here and really taking advantage of the fact that there's a contest in Latin America. That's really important. These guys are just great surfers, a lot of talent here in Latin America, and getting a chance here at Acapulco, the Quicksilver Surf Open, to show what they've got. And you'll be seeing a lot more of Miguel Tudela. Hopefully a lot more today if he gets through this heat, but if not, next contest, he's off to Huntington Beach to surf in the US Open. So.
Y así es, estamos en el último hit de cuartos de final. Tenemos a Miguel Tudela del Perú en rojo con una ola de 0.67 y una ola de 4.07, solamente necesitando un 4.74 para pasar al primer puesto, faltando 14 minutos con 9 segundos. Y así es, este evento está llegando a su fin. Este es el último día y bueno, los latinos que quedan, Miguel Tudela y Carlos Muñoz, que vimos en el hit anterior, que acaba de pasar a la semifinal con muy buen surfing. Y bueno, Miguel Tudela, ¿no? Que se puede decir, Perú siempre tiene surfers muy fuertes, siempre ha sido uno de los fuertes en Latinoamérica, y como podemos ver a Miguel Tudela con solo 17 años está en cuartos de final. Lo vamos a ver y vemos a rojo en una muy buena ola. Miguelito Tudela en un buen tubo saliendo y finalizando. Lamentablemente se queda, pero creo que va a ser una buena puntuación, un tubo muy limpio. ¿Qué piensas, Gary?
Bueno, no voy a riscar un score porque no estamos combinando con los jueces hoy, pero en mi opinión fue un tubo muy lindo y se salió, pero todo bien, se cayó, pero no hay problema, se completó la maniobra del tubo y fue excelente para mí, no fue por lo menos lo mejor tubo del día. Y vamos
así es, lamentablemente no pudo cerrar bien esa ola, pero el tubo fue bastante limpio, una de las mejores, más limpias que hemos visto en este día, así que yo creo que Miguel Tudela del Perú solo necesitando un 4.74, así que yo creo que sí va a mejorar su calificación. Vamos a ver qué es lo que los jueces piensan.
Well, that last tube ride of Miguel Tudela, really clean. He was pretty deep in there, traveled for a long time. He only needs a 4.74. And like you said, Christian, that should be enough to move him into first place. Leigh Sedley having a 5.50 and a 3.50. Miguel Tudela holding on to a 4.07, and we're just going to have to see what comes in, but he only needs a 4.74.
Yeah, we saw one of the best barrels of this morning. Pretty clean. He really got covered up, and he didn't quite finish as on. We have him again, backside Miguel Tudela going and last wave of Miguel Tudela 5.10, so look at that. We didn't see that last wave, I think we missed it. But last wave of white, the Australian Leigh Sedley a 7.83, and last wave of Miguel Tudela 5.17. So Leigh Sedley still in the lead with a 7.83 and a 5.50. Miguel Tudela with a 5.71 and a 4.07, needing a 8.16 to go to first place. So this is an interesting heat for sure.
Well, unfortunately, we missed that wave of Leigh Sedley, a 7.83. I wonder what he did. That's an incredible score for today. The judges really being conservative on giving those points out. But good for Leigh, that barrel of Miguel Tudela, and here goes Miguel Tudela trying to make it happen here, going for a 360 carve there, pulls it off, stays with the curl, trying to pull into a barrel there in the end to finish it off. A little bit behind the curl there, and as watch the replay here, goes to that carving 360. A pretty interesting move. I haven't seen that done lately, and he stayed right with the momento. But he only scores a 1.90 on that, so really the critical section, I would have loved to seen that wave of Leigh Sedley, because I would have liked to have seen what the judges are actually looking for. Obviously they like that one a lot. Highest wave of the day is 7.83.
Yeah, unfortunately we only have one camera on this event. The next year I've heard we're having a 6-star.
We have a 6-star, and I think we were talking about having 6 cameras.
So we'll have a lot of cameras for sure, in the water, in the beach, everywhere. So
thanks for tuning in with us and helping us work through this. We're doing our best, and I'm pretty proud of the accomplishment. We just set up the day before, and really this is this crew's first live webcast. So pretty pleased with the results, and I thank you, Christian, and your cousin Angelo, and also cousin Johnny, for helping me out here. And we've been bringing you the action live. And
our pleasure, Gary. Our pleasure.
It's just been a blast for me. I always like to hang out with you, number 5.
Hey, I saw you yesterday at the swimming pool, Gary, surrounded by beautiful women all over.
Well, you know,
still got the moves.
I speak Portuguese. They're all Brazilian. What can I say?
Ah, that's a big advantage, huh?
Yeah,
I gotta learn.
Yeah, well, I learned Portuguese talking with the beautiful girls in Brazil, so I highly recommend going down there and spending some time. Takes about 4 or 5 months. You speak Spanish, probably maybe 2 months. I was talking in 2 months. There's a lot of necessity. So some of the prettiest girls in the world, and there a lot of them work as models here in Mexico City, and so they were down here with the show on the ramp for
the catwalk.
The catwalk. Right?
Nice. So Roxy really throwing it out yesterday, throwing a nice party with Debbie Nova, the Costa Rican girl who amazingly good artist. And now we're at the final day of this wonderful event, the Quicksilver Surf Open Acapulco. It's just a joy to be here enjoying of this wonderful event.
Well, we're down to 7 minutes 48 seconds remaining. In first place, Leigh Sedley with a 7.83 and a 5.50. Second place, Miguel Tadilla from Peru with a 5.17 and a 4.07. Needs a big score. He needs an 8.16. So, judging from the way things have been going, he probably needs a combination. He probably needs to throw better both those scores, at least better the 4.07. Yeah, he's got to. It's going to be pretty hard to get an 8-point ride out there. So he's got to really improve both his scores. He probably needs a 6. 6 probably would 6 and a couple 6s. That'd do it. Couple 6s. Yeah. He needs a total of a 13.33 to take over Leigh Sedley. So actually he needs a 7 and a 6. He needs 2 7s. Where's my math? A 6.5 and a 7 is what he needs.
Yeah, so Leigh Sedley with a strong lead on that last wave. He got a 7.83, one of the best scores of this morning. Unfortunately, we missed that wave. We don't know what he did.
But judging for what he has been doing, it's probably a couple of really vertical
solid
maneuvers, that might have gotten in a little barrel ride.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we won't miss anything else. Thanks for hanging with us. And it's with one camera, we were focused on Miguel Tadilla, and it's pretty hard to catch everything. So we'll be back in style next year. And thanks for hanging in there with us today. We've got plenty more action coming up where we're going to move right into the semifinal. And the semifinal, we'll be watching Tanner Hendrickson and Michael Powell.
Y así es, estamos en el último hit de cuartos de final, cuando tenemos a Leigh Sedley de Australia en primer lugar con una ola de 5.50 y su segunda mejor ola de 7.83 con un liderato bastante fuerte. Miguel Tureda necesitando un 8.16 para pasar. Y bueno, estamos llegando a la recta final. Hoy se coronará el campeón y después de la final nos vamos con el Skull Candy Air Show, una expression session que es el mejor aéreo se va a calificar. Y bueno, este evento está muy bueno y tenemos a Blanco, no, la deja pasar. Estamos en este evento, la recta final. Quicksilver realmente hizo un muy buen trabajo. Este evento ha sido el evento con la mayor cantidad de bolsa a repartir en la historia de los eventos. Y ahí vemos al semifinalista Tanner Hendrickson de los Estados Unidos, de Hawái, preparándose para su hit, porque después de este nos vamos directamente a las semifinales y de ahí a la gran final.
Yeah, we're down to 4 minutes 30 seconds in this heat. Miguel Tadella in red from Peru, young surfer, goofy foot, needing a score of 8.16. So he still has time. It really needs 2 waves. 8.16 going to be the highest score of the day. Leigh Sedley had a wave. He scored at 7.83 in this heat. And he's going to have to better that. Miguel Tadella is going to have to better that if he wants to go into the semifinals. Semifinal number 1 already heading out into the water in red. Tanner Hendrickson is getting from Hawaii up against Michael Powell from the United States in white. So action just hot and heavy here on the beach. Water's warm, the air's warm, offshore morning breeze has died down, so it's that calm part of the day when there's no wind, glassy conditions. Got an overview of the contest site there with the beautiful hill that separates Acapulco Bay. That's the start. It's like a little horseshoe bay, perfect for anchoring. You can see why it was the major port of the Americas, establishing that trade route with Asia. Acapulco, very, very ancient city. I'm sure before that, that's European times, I'm sure before that the Aztecs were trading with the Hawaiians, you know. And
yeah.
You know, it's just a perfect shot. You follow the trade winds, leave Acapulco, go straight to the Philippines, straight up from that, come right back to California, work your way down the coast. Currents going in a circle. The weather is favorable and, pretty easy sailing. Those old ships weren't that maneuverable, and it took about 100 days to get over and about 150 to get back. So you're at sea for quite a while.
Does the current take you down to Peru, or?
Well, to go to Peru, you've got to go down a little bit. You've got to work your way, but not too down, and catch the next current. And it's kind of hard to get to Peru, so you've got to go all the way around. You catch the next current, and it takes you to Micronesia by around Australia, and then you hit Isla de Pascua, and then come up the coast to Chile, and then you hit Peru.
So we missed another wave. I think it was a pretty good wave.
I heard air reverse. And we're down to 1 minute 14 seconds remaining. Miguel Tadella needing a big score of an 8.16. And let's see what it comes in. I hope he got it. I hope he put it in to make this competitive. And he did get a good score. And scores coming in at 5.97. So now he only needs a 7.37. A minute and 20 seconds remaining. It's going to be difficult, but if he can get out there, get in position, get something quick, of course, Leigh Sedley in this man-on-man conditions, he's got priority. So Miguel's going to have to get a peek a little bit away from him. And unfortunately, we missed two of the best ways in the heat.
1 minute remaining. It's going to be a little bit tough. The ocean seems to taking the time out, but hopefully he can find it. 1 minute remaining.
Part of the learning curve we have. I mean, here in Mexico, we haven't had that many competitions. This is the largest prize purse in the history of competitive surfing in Mexico. And so understandably, we're just, all of our crews.
Here we have Red. Let's see what he can do if he can pull up a 7.
Off to a good start. That was really, he needed to pull something fierce out of the bag there, and he goes for that air reverse there after getting off a big maneuver, and here goes a replay. And outside Leigh Sedley in our heat winner. He's going to go on to the semifinals with 10 seconds remaining. There goes the countdown. And on to the semifinal number 2, Leigh Sedley from Australia in white. Unfortunately, Miguel Tudela put on a good performance out there, our young surfer from Peru in red.